Now at 9, a homeless man faces felony charges after a stabbing outside a Joplin shelter. Plus, a new Kansas bill could change who puts you under for surgery. We look at rural hospital concerns.
At Pitt State, local high schoolers get to put their automotive skills to the test. I'm Kenny Foreman, and I'll have more on that coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A homeless man is charged with felony assault and armed criminal action after police say he stabbed another man outside a Joplin shelter. This is KOAM News. I'm Tanya Bach. The stabbing happened just before midnight Friday night near Watered Gardens on Kentucky Avenue. A Joplin officer responded when the bleeding victim flagged him down. Police found and arrested Brian Gutierrez, who was still at the scene holding 2 knives, one with blood on it. The 55-year-old remains in jail on a $100,000 bond. Watered Gardens says neither man was a client at the shelter. Kansas lawmakers are considering a proposal that could impact anesthesiologist assistants. If passed, AAs would be licensed by the state and also disciplined by the state, setting up a legal framework including exam requirements, supervision clarifications, and criminal background checks. KOAM's Nellie Lopez spoke with the CEO of Coffeyville Regional Medical Center to talk about the Anesthesiologist Assistant Act and what it could mean for rural hospitals.
We're blessed. We have a full staff of CRNAs and anesthesiologists.
For rural hospitals like Coffeyville Regional Medical Center, CRNAs play a big role in helping serve the community.
As I talk to my colleagues that are in smaller markets like us that are critical access hospitals in rural Kansas, for them, most of them have 100% CRNAs.
Kansas House Bill 2368 is proposing to create the Anesthesiologist Assistants Licensure Act, setting a full licensing and regulation system for AAs under the Kansas State Board of Healing Arts.
This particular bill would give the licensing capabilities for anesthesia assistants. Those anesthesiology assistants can only work with an anesthesiologist.
Assistants that are not usually used in rural areas.
But if you go look at the bigger markets where there's a higher volume level of employed anesthesiologists, yes, they could potentially use those.
But this bill does draw a little bit of concern.
I think the concern from everybody is that we create legislation that would hurt or deter from people going into CRNA training programs. I see kind of both sides of it. I see where it can be a benefit, but I also see where it very easily could be something that could harm the anesthesiologist coverage we already have in the state of Kansas going forward.
Lawrence hopes for any future changes to the medical field. The state considers more than one market size.
Rural hospitals make up the majority of healthcare providers in the state of Kansas. So we need to be writing legislation that supports the rural healthcare facilities that are out there serving. And we can't just be focused on, what's beneficial for the larger markets.
In Coffeyville, Kansas, Nellie Lopez, KOAM News.
Lawrence also says the state should consider the workforce shortage across the state when creating legislation to be able to recruit and retain those who want to serve in Kansas. Meteorologist Austin Stantz joins us now with a first look at weather.
Hey, thanks, Tanya. Yeah, we're seeing temperatures cooler now that the sun has set this evening. 43 degrees right now in Joplin, 46 in Miami, a little bit cooler in Pittsburgh at 37 degrees there. As we head throughout the evening tonight, we're going to see Monette start dropping down into the 30s, and we're also going to see some cloud cover increasing as we hit those overnight hours. That's really where we're going to see our temperatures holding pretty steady overnight tonight, is those upper 30s. So starting your day tomorrow morning, upper 30s, still a little too cold for me. 39 degrees, partly cloudy, so opt for a hot coffee tomorrow. Just a little too cold. Now, looking and planning your day ahead for tomorrow, 46 by 8 o'clock, 55 by noon, 62 degrees going to be our high for tomorrow, becoming cloudy later in the afternoon, but some rain chances on the way. We're going to time that all out coming up.
Reddings Mill firefighters battle a dangerous surge in structure fires during the first 6 weeks of 2026. Crews responded to multiple house, chimney, and outbuilding fires since January 1st. They've also provided mutual aid on major incidents in Carl Junction, Seneca, and other neighboring districts. The fire chief says strong partnerships with surrounding agencies remain critical as volunteer firefighter numbers drop statewide. Now, Redding's Mill moved to a fully paid department in 2022. High school students put their automotive skills to the test at Pittsburgh State University today. 6 local high schools participated in the 10th annual automotive skills competition, testing everything from engine performance to brake systems. KOAM's Kenny Foreman shows us how these skills transfer to real-world success.
They may only be juniors and seniors in high school, but the PSU staff wants them to gain exposure in various auto-related skills.
Each one of our stations has something to do with the automotive industry, whether it is in a job interview where they're having to present and talk and ask questions, whether it's in diesel performance, whether it is in engine performance, whether it is in brakes, hydraulics, steering, suspension.
Of course, over the past 10 years, the automotive industry has seen plenty of major changes, forcing the instructors to reconfigure the competition.
We used to have the average of 8 modules, and now we have the average of 36 computers on one vehicle. So we've had to evolve this contest over the years to reflect the growth in technology in the automotive industry. And that goes with our scan tools, being able to read the scan tools and diagnose electrical components.
The competition also serves as a networking event for the students to see what Pitt State has to offer. Current automotive management student Carson Davis participated when he was in high school and says the experience helped prepare him for his further education.
It was huge. I had a lot of background knowledge that a lot of my classmates didn't have. I felt like I had almost like a leg up just because of the fact that I'd already done a lot of this stuff before. I'd been around it. It wasn't new.
And even if they don't go the same route, their high school teachers know the skills will still benefit them in the long run.
If a student decides to go into any type of skilled career, these are transferable skills. So if they're not going to measure brakes one day, they're going to measure something one day. But this activity can definitely give them the opportunity to give it a try.
In Pittsburgh, Kenny Foreman, KOAM News.
Pitt State currently offers certificates, 2-year and 4-year degrees through its School of Automotive and Engineering Technology. Well, coming up, the latest in the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie.
Police release a man detained for questioning in the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother in Tucson. This is as the agency says they've gotten thousands of tips just in the past 24 hours. I'm Amalia Roy, and I have more on the investigation coming up.
But up first, researchers say a tablespoon of vinegar twice a day can boost your health. The right way to use it ahead. While Mary Poppins said a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, researchers are sharing how a tablespoon of vinegar can help advance health and wellness goals. Kevin Uretsky takes a closer look.
With the new year pressing onward, researchers at Arizona State University say people with wellness goals might want to add some vinegar to their diet.
A lot of people make resolutions to improve their diet, to maybe lose weight. Maybe they want to improve their mental state. Vinegar will help all of those situations.
According to Dr. Carol Johnston, the acetic acid in vinegars can offer important health perks.
When we consume vinegar, that acetic acid will enter the bloodstream and convert to acetate and actually help our gut along. The acetate also gets into the brain. It gets into the muscle. Mood states and depression are improved.
Researchers found ingesting vinegar can also help moderate blood sugar levels.
The number one killer in the U.S. is heart disease. And so one of the factors that can increase your risk for heart disease is high blood glucose.
Dr. Johnston says all types of vinegars can work because they all contain acetic acid.
Acid is a poison. And so the government regulates how much acid is in all the vinegars that are on the shelf. Doesn't matter if they're cheap vinegars or they're expensive vinegars.
And while taking a shot of vinegar might seem like the quickest way of gulping it down,
if you take a shot of vinegar, you have the possibility of aspirating it into your lungs. And it's an acid. It'll damage your lung tissues.
Instead, experts say to dilute a tablespoon of vinegar in a cup of water and drink it during meals.
Try to drink it within the first few bites of your meal.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Dr. Johnston says you can start seeing the health benefits of vinegar over time by drinking 1 tablespoon twice a day. Well, could the most effective treatment for depression and anxiety be exercise? A study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found all forms of exercise perform better than medication or therapy. Supervised aerobic exercise was most effective for depression, and shorter, lower intensity exercise best for anxiety. Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, the West faces its worst snow drought on record. Why scientists say water shortages are coming this spring.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, we're going to have some changes ahead in your forecast, especially as we hit the later part of the week. But right now, we're going to be dealing with the stationary front. That's going to change into a warm front, continuing to push east here. That's going to warm up our temperatures headed into tomorrow. We do have some cloud cover beginning to move in tonight. Going to become mostly cloudy overnight tonight, so cloud cover increasing. Temperatures falling into the upper 30s as we start hitting those overnight hours tonight. So waking up tomorrow morning, you're going to have a few clouds out there. Temperatures going to be right around 39 degrees about that 6 a.m. hour. It's going to be cool out there this evening, but still above average, which is nice. We're going to see some nice southeasterly winds tonight, calm around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Getting your day started tomorrow, 46 by 8 o'clock, 55 by noon, 62 by 4 o'clock. That's going to be our high tomorrow, 62 degrees. Winds going to shift out of the northeast, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Heading into your Friday, check this out. So we're starting to notice some of those thunderstorms beginning to develop Friday morning into the early afternoon. This is out ahead of the system that's going to bring most of the rainfall. So these first rounds of showers and thunderstorms that move through, those could pack a little bit of punch, because that's going to have the best opportunity to run into some of the instability provided by some of that daytime heating that we're going to see there before we become mostly cloudy there. Now, as we head into the evening hours, things are going to slow down a bit, but just know that these first initiation of storms could be a little bit on the stronger side. If they are severe, they're going to be on the lower end severe side, so 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail. Check out these temperatures, though, into the 60s still, upper 60s by the afternoon hours on Friday. We're still going to see some widespread rainfall out there. So you notice these darker shades of red here indicating that heavier rainfall. Now what we're seeing here is that the system actually speeding up just a bit for us, arriving a little bit earlier with some of that rainfall, heavier rainfall beginning to move in by Friday night and then lingering through Saturday morning here into the afternoon hours. So we're going to see some consistent rainfall throughout the day. We're going to have a stationary front likely north of this, and so a lot of these showers are going to be developing along that front. So for your Saturday, I know it's Valentine's Day, right around 54 degrees, some showers and thunderstorms there. Now, we do need the rain. Check this out. This is how the drought has developed over the last 3 months or so. You'll notice that now Jasper and Newton County in an extreme drought. So how much rainfall could we see as this begins to move in? Well, check this out. Pretty impressive. South of 44, right around 3 inches of rainfall. So keeping a close eye on that. Checking out your 10-day forecast here and what you can expect ahead. Some minor rain chances the beginning of next week, right around Tuesday, but we're looking at 70s next week as well as we hit the middle part. So, and then another system of rain by next week, which is great because that drought, it's getting pretty bad out there with the extreme drought in Jasper and Newton County.
It's so hard to believe. Like, I thought, my birthday on Monday, we had a record in the 70s, and now we're going to do it again?
Yeah, we're going to be back into the 70s. Could be talking about a record day there as well.
Things are heating up. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, coming up next, why strong job growth signals a robust economy to start the year.
Job growth picked up in January. I'm Edward Lawrence at the White House. I'll break down the numbers coming up.
The U.S. economy posted solid job growth in January as employers hired at a steady pace to start 2026. This as the Federal Reserve evaluates the need for rate cuts in the months ahead. Fox Business correspondent Edward Lawrence has the details.
The economy started off the year strong. 130,000 jobs added for the month of January. The expectation was 70,000. The unemployment rate fell to 4.3%. The expectation for that was 4.4%.
I think it speaks to the strength of the economy. It speaks to how robust it is, and it doesn't speak to we need a rate cut tomorrow. We're not going to get one, but it only speaks to a rate cut if they in fact start to shrink the balance sheet. That's the only way that I see them cutting rates.
Jobs were added in healthcare, professional and business services, and construction. Losing jobs for the month, financial activities, and government. The average hourly earnings rose 3.7%, jumping 0.4% month over month, showing wages rising faster than inflation.
We are now again a consumer-centric economy, not necessarily funded by the government and taxpayers, and so we love seeing that. We love seeing the real wage growth. I think that's critically important.
The revisions for the month of November and December show 17,000 fewer jobs were added than first believed. The Labor Department also cut prior job numbers, stretching back nearly 2 years. Looking at 2024, the U.S. produced only 1.2 million jobs versus the previously estimated 2 million. Last year, the labor market added just 181,000 jobs. The previous estimate was 584,000. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence has been cited as the force behind some layoffs. At the same time, job listings looking for people with AI skills are rising fast.
Last year was all about working on AI. Is it Google? Is it Microsoft? Is it Amazon? This year is all about working with AI. What is AI going to do to certain sectors? And it's really important to focus on diffusion, on how we get AI into the economy.
The Fed's next policy meeting starts on March 17th. The markets anticipate that a pause on rate cuts will continue. At the White House, Edward Lawrence, Fox Business.
Federal retail sales showed virtually no change in December from November, despite the busy holiday shopping season. Building materials and food stores saw slight increases, though furniture and electronic sales dipped. The report was delayed due to the federal government shutdown. Coming up next, Neosho High School students showcase artwork at the Crowder College Museum. The Longwell Museum at Crowder College is showcasing the work of Neosho High School art students in its latest exhibit. Now in its 6th year, the partnership highlights a wide range of student artwork created throughout the school year. The exhibit features everything from acrylic paintings and graphic design to ceramics, collage, paper arts, and even copper plating. They say displaying the artwork in a professional gallery setting gives students a sense of validation and helps them envision a future in the arts.
So there's a wide variety, right? There's students who like to work more abstract. Maybe they like to do printmaking, things like that. And so you might see some familiar names in each kind of section of artwork. There's some students who are really interested in everything, but then you'll see some students maybe focus in one particular medium, and you'll see multiple works by them.
The exhibit runs through March 5th with a closing reception planned with the student artist in attendance. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. El Paso's airport shuts down without warning today due to security concerns. And the FBI says it's making progress in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping investigation.
You're watching the 4 states' most watched news.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. A major American airport closes to air traffic today, but only for a few hours. And now local officials want to know if it was because of a security threat or a lack of coordination. Fox News national correspondent Jeff Paul has the details.
I want to be very, very clear that this should have never happened.
El Paso Mayor Renard Johnson not mincing words after the FAA shut down air traffic in and out of his city. It happened late Tuesday night without notice, officials announcing a 10-day ground stop at the airport due to, quote, special security reasons. But just hours later, it was lifted without explanation.
This was a major and unnecessary disruption, one that has not occurred since 9/11. El Paso is not just a dot on a map.
Some aviation experts are defending the move.
This ain't minor. I mean, I just can't get over. This is not a broken wire in an air traffic control system. This is something where there is something on the ground in El Paso.
But passengers say there was no communication from either the airlines or the FAA, leaving them to speculate about why flights were grounded.
I didn't get any notifications from the airline. I just kind of saw all the cops here and the news cameras.
You watch all these movies and
watch all these conspiracy theory things. I mean, it just boggles the mind. I mean, you wonder, why do you have to shut down?
And city officials say major disruptions were reported throughout the morning, including at least one canceled medical flight.
Our airport was in chaos. Our community was scared, all because someone decided to shut down our airspace. You just cannot do that.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said Wednesday she has no information about the use of cartel drones along the border. In Los Angeles, Jeff Paul, Fox News.
Administration officials tell Fox News a dispute over Pentagon drone tests led the FAA to issue the El Paso airspace closure, despite Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy saying it was caused by Mexican cartel drone incursion. Well, Canadians are mourning after a deadly school shooting in British Columbia leaves 9 people dead and several injured. A gunman killed 5 students and 1 teacher at a school in Tumbler Ridge, a small town in the Canadian Rockies. Officers found the 18-year-old shooter dead inside the school from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police also found the shooter's mother and stepbrother dead in their home. Investigators say the assailant acted alone in one of Canada's deadliest shootings. Prime Minister Mark Carney praised the heroic actions of the school staff.
To the teachers and the school staff who acted with extraordinary courage to protect the children in their care. In the darkest of moments, they showed the best of our country.
Prime Minister Carney ordered flags flown at half-staff for a week as the community continues to grieve. Well, the search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mother intensifies as FBI agents comb desert terrain near her home. Investigators have received thousands of tips, including a Bitcoin ransom demand. Fox's Amalia Roy has the latest from Tucson.
FBI agents spotted searching multiple roads near Nancy Guthrie's home in Arizona's Catalina foothills Wednesday morning. They are combing through thick desert terrain, hoping to find any evidence linked to a person seen on surveillance images captured on Guthrie's porch the morning she went missing.
The police can't be everywhere, but the public can be. So you want this video out there and as many eyes that can be on it as you can.
Those images already proving fruitful for investigators, with the Pima County Sheriff's Office saying they've received more than 4,000 calls in the last 24 hours. Police activity also ramping up, with authorities briefly detaining this man for questioning.
I was the one that would pull over at the traffic stop.
That man, a Tucson delivery driver, was later released without charges. The FBI director says all these developments mean the investigation is heading in the right direction.
We have made substantial progress in these last 36, 48 hours thanks to the technical capabilities of the FBI and our partnerships.
Wednesday, TMZ also reported receiving a new message from someone claiming to know the kidnapper's identity.
They're not saying they're the kidnappers. They're saying they know who the kidnapper is and will give that information up for 1 Bitcoin.
Since Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, the Pima County Sheriff's Office says they've received nearly 18,000 phone calls. Officials say they're working closely with the FBI to follow up on all leads. In Tucson, Arizona, Amalia Roy, Fox News.
Austin is next with a complete look at your forecast, and later, snow drought in the west threatens agriculture and drinking water. Scientists sound the alarm on what's coming.
Here's your Skywatch weather forecast from the trusted Roper Kia Weather Center.
Well, things are quiet in the forecast for now, and spring-like conditions continuing. Adding to that, some thunderstorms possible as we head into the weekend. But first, a couple of warmer, drier days here. We're going to see tomorrow some warmer air still pushing into the east here. That's going to have our temperatures back into the 60s once again. This evening right now, we're expecting some cloud cover tonight as some moisture is pushing into the area. This is going to lead to mostly cloudy conditions overnight tonight. Temperatures falling into the upper 30s as we start hitting those overnight hours tonight, with cloud cover beginning to move in right around 4, 5, 6 a.m. They're becoming mostly cloudy as you're heading out the door. 39 degrees overnight tonight. It's going to be cool out there, but still above average for us. As clouds increase throughout the day tomorrow, we're still going to warm up relatively well. 46 degrees by 8 o'clock, 55 by noon, 62 by 4 o'clock. Becoming cloudy throughout the day, 62 degrees. Our wind's going to be out of the northeast, right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now we have an interesting setup on the way for us. This is our jet stream that we're looking at. Here's our system that's going to be our next weather maker off to our west. Why this is important? Well, here's our jet core right here, these darker shades of blue and yellow. You'll notice the jet stream right here indicating that the jet core is the central area here. Well, as this our system begins to move in, the right entrance region, or the southwestern portion, southwest of the jet core, is the best place for sustainability for vertical lift or movement in the atmosphere. So what does that mean for us? Well, as moisture increases throughout Friday, here's our chance to see some showers and thunderstorms development. The first initiation of these storms is going to have all the daytime heating, which kind of primes the atmosphere. All that vertical lift is we're right on that right entrance area for the jet stream. So all that vertical lift is bringing all that moisture into the atmosphere, and that's going to diverge or spread out across the atmosphere, and that's going to help create some of these showers and thunderstorms. These first initiation of storms could be on the stronger side if they did go severe. We're talking about low-end severe 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. Upper 60s for your Friday, mostly cloudy, showers and thunderstorms developing, especially as we head into the evening hours, becoming more widespread as we head throughout our day into Saturday. Now, Saturday is Valentine's Day, but unfortunately, it is going to be a wet one out there. Temperatures are only going to be making their way into the lower 50s as we head throughout our Saturday, but also everyone across the 4 states region expecting some rainfall, anywhere from half an inch all the way up to, well, right around 2 to maybe even 3 inches at times. Beyond Saturday, Sunday, we're back into the 60s there, 65 on Monday, 67 Tuesday with a short wave that moves through, maybe a few light showers, and then back into the 70s once again, Tanya, by the middle part of next week.
Well, I mean, we need the rain, so hopefully we will get enough of it.
There's quite a bit coming. I actually won't be surprised if we see a flood watch issued or a flash flood watch, just because the ground is so dry right now. It's not going to be able to absorb a lot of that rain right away. That's
the problem. When we get it, it's too much and you can't even use it.
Yeah, we're trying to live between the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's right. All right, thanks, Austin. Well, still ahead, a pair of local football stars put pen to paper to play at the collegiate level. Those details next. Plus, the Pitt State basketball teams are back at home for a doubleheader against Missouri Western. Highlights from those matchups coming up in sports.
Last Wednesday was National Signing Day, with athletes furthering their commitments for collegiate athletics. But today, a pair of football players in the 4 states area signed the dotted line. In Galena, Bulldogs offensive lineman Braden Buckaloo is staying home, signing to play with Missouri Southern. The Joplin native earned All-State Honorable Mention honors this past year as a senior, finishing as a 2-time All-Conference player with Galena. Buckaloo says it's a dream come true to sign with MSSU, following in his parents' footsteps.
Honestly, Missouri Southern's just always been one of my dream schools. It's been a dream to be able to play so close to my home, and I have a lot of connections to this school. My parents went to this school and graduated from this school, so it's just a dream come true to play for this school, so 20 minutes away from my house.
In Miami, War Dogs Trent Lawson signed his letter of intent to play at Ottawa University. Before visiting the Braves, Lawson was unsure of Ottawa, but after spending time with the coaches, he knew he was home. Lawson says that he even decided not to visit Northeast Oklahoma A&M because he was dead set on being a Brave.
I'm Ottawa Tribe, and at first I wasn't sure about it. I knew it was free, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted to go there. But after visiting all the coaches and the facilities, and the coaches are the greatest people there, and all my teammates, I just confirmed that I wanted to go there.
After a pair of road games last week, the Pitt State men's and women's basketball squads are back at home inside John Lance Arena for a doubleheader against Missouri Western. The 20th ranked Gorillas girls squad opening the night against the Griffins. Let's go to the second half. Final seconds of the third quarter. Ana Oliveira Diaz with the drive and dish to Lindsey Kelderman, who drains the three at the buzzer. Griffins up by 5 heading to the fourth. But here comes PSU to open the final quarter. Working the ball inside out, Casey McCumber to Clara Swearingen in the corner, who ties it up with this triple. She finished with a game-high 18 points. Gorillas eyeing the lead on their next possession, though. Swearingen this time being a playmaker with the driving kick to Lola Quiroga in the corner. The freshman drains the long two for the lead. PSU still leading a couple possessions later. It's Hannah Miller this time. She'll attack the basket, finishing with the right hand. She had some clutch buckets down the stretch. Gorillas come from behind and take down the Griffins. 64-61 the final. The PSU men's squad eyeing a second straight win, battling the Griffins in the nightcap. Early first quarter, Gorillas working the ball inside. Connor Rogers to Ethan Sage, down to Donald Coates, who scores the bucket inside the paint. PSU leads early. The offense was clicking from the start for the Gorillas. Their next possession, Mason English shot fake, setting up Connor Rogers, wide open from way downtown, cash it from the junior. But the Griffins offense was also on fire to open this one. Noah King and Marko Pavlovich running the pick and roll to perfection, with the big man scoring the easy deuce underneath. PSU looking to respond now, and it's Pittsburgh's finest. English on the drive, shaking off contact and finishing off the glass for two, but the Griffins take down the Gorillas on the road 78-70. Moving to the high school level, Joplin clashed with Miami at home. Mid-first quarter, Joplin trailing but clawing back as the Eagles force a turnover, with Tucker Martin tossing it up court to TJ Willis, who lays it in on the fast break. A couple possessions later, another loose ball, but Miami's Isaiah Grover ends up with it, connecting with a wide-open Lane Walther, who knocks down the triple on the wing. Joplin looking to respond. It's Fred Taylor, the senior. He's going to attack the defense, find through contact, and gets around the defender to kiss it off the glass for two. Nice play from him. Joplin still rolling in the second quarter. It's Trent McCadney giving it off to Brecken Green, who pulls in three defenders, allowing Willis an open look from three, and he cashes it as the Eagles defend home court with a 67-51 win. The Pitt State track and field teams are back at home this weekend, but before competition begins, another Gorilla has received weekly honors after a strong performance this past week. For the second straight week, Elias Garcia has been named the MIAA Male Track Athlete of the Week. Following a school record-breaking performance last week, the junior lowered his Division II best time in the 60-meter dash, flying in with a time of 6.62 seconds and a top finish at the Woo Pig Classic in Arkansas. Love seeing some Pitt State athletes get some recognition. You're seeing that a lot with their track teams. I knew coming here how dominant they were, but I didn't know this dominant. They are on fire.
And maybe we have some more future Olympians.
Who knows?
In the works.
A little bit more summer, but yes, we could see some of them in the Olympics.
Yeah, we feel like it. You know, it could be coming.
Yeah, we're in that mojo of the Olympics.
I like that. All right, thanks, Ryan. We will be back with more news after this. There could be a glass half empty situation developing across swaths of the West as risk of future water shortages rise. It's because of not enough falling snow and too hot of temperatures. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a closer look at the threats and impacts.
Scientists from around the country are sounding alarms.
I am worried about this. I worry about it a lot.
Citing how a record snow drought and higher winter temperatures are triggering fears over water shortages come spring across portions of the West.
The snow situation here in the West, I've never seen anything like it. We don't have the snowfall, and we have such extreme warmth that whatever snow falls just doesn't stay around anymore.
Snowpack is a layer of snow that builds up on the ground, compacting over time, and then releasing water as it melts in warmer months.
Out here in the West, it's the mountain snowpack that is our primary source of water for agriculture, for anything else. Across almost all of the West, we're in terrible shape right now. 50 to 55% of where we should be.
Colorado, Oregon, and Utah are all experiencing their lowest statewide snowpack since records started in the 1980s. It comes as at least 67 weather stations across the West are reporting their warmest December through early February temperatures on record.
What we are seeing across the West is that the mountain snowpack is starting to shrink. The snowpack doesn't really develop as early in the autumn as it used to, and we're starting to see the melt occurring earlier.
The conditions are also negatively impacting winter tourism, sparking concerns over the possibility of future wildfires.
Someone does something stupid, throws a cigarette butt out, or is an arcing from a power line. Now you can get a nasty forest fire.
Ted Linder, Fox News.
Up next, Dawson's Creek star James Vanderbeek dies after his battle with cancer. We take a look back at his life and career. Sad news to report from Hollywood. Actor James Vanderbeek died today after a long battle with colorectal cancer. Fox's Ashley Dvorkin takes a look back at his life and legacy.
I didn't want you to go. I wanted you to stay here with me.
Actor James Vanderbeek has passed away. Vanderbeek is best known for playing Dawson Leary on Dawson's Creek throughout its run 1998 to 2003. During those years, he also established himself on the big screen, with roles including 1998's Varsity Blues, Texas Rangers in 2001, and The Rules of Attraction in 2002.
6 months ago, I found out that I was diagnosed with cancer.
Vanderbeek had been open about his battle with stage 3 colorectal cancer, sharing his diagnosis in November of 2024. He became active in raising awareness. In December 2024, he was part of the Fox special The Real Full Monty, bringing attention to prostate, testicular, and colorectal cancer. In preparation, he joked about how the dancing may have given him pause, but from the start, he wanted to help put the spotlight on early detection.
The reality kind of set in about what we were actually going to do and how we were going to get the attention to raise the awareness. But for me, I knew that Anthony would put together a really good group of men, a really good support group, and I thought it would be a really amazing thing to be able to share my story amongst them and enjoy that support and have everyone come together for that common goal. And that's exactly what it was.
Most recently, Vanderbeek made a surprise video appearance at a Dawson's Creek reunion charity event, which was in support of F cancer. James Vanderbeek is survived by his wife, Kimberly, and their 6 children. Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of animals at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago receiving Valentine's surprises. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.